Okay, I thought I'd do this right now since a dear friend of mine on the West Coast, I just had a long conversation with him, and he suggested that I address a kind of parallelism between um, Bodhidharma and Plato. So, and he rightly points out, my friend, that central to the, I don't know, let's say the mythos of both thinkers, Plato and Bodhidharma, is something about a cave. Now, the more proper way for me to approach this would be for me to go, even though Bodhidharma I consider to be utterly foundational to my way of thinking. I showed up in Professor Kameff's seminar in 2005 or 5, and I proudly and boldly proclaimed that I was interested in something like and this was for a critical theory course, kind of survey of 20th century critical theory. I proudly proclaimed that I was something like a disciple of Terence McKenna and Bodhidharma and I don't know, Nietzsche. And I think that didn't exactly make the right impression on Professor Kameff, and I don't know what sort of impression it made on anybody else. But, I already knew Bodhidharma and Nietzsche and Terence McKenna by heart at that point, so hey, why not? I mean, I literally knew all of their material by heart. So now the Bodhidharma, this is like scripture stuff. The main stuff that I've studied is I think that it's the Red Pine translation, even though I gave my copy away to a gentleman he was my Uber driver on a field trip that I took to the Institute for Advanced Study several months ago. And turns out that my Uber driver came from a family of Tibetan monks. Nepal, Tibet. And I know the name, of course. I'm in touch with the gentleman, and I gave him a copy of, I don't know, maybe it was Joey Beltram on Halo Cyan, and I also gave him a copy of. This was after because we went Sunset Park to IAS, which is a couple of hours drive, and then we came back, and so we had all kinds of conversation about metaphysics and religion and stuff. It was actually a much more interesting conversation that I had with the Uber driver than anybody that I spoke to at IAS, of which there were about 4, 5, something. Anyway, I talked about that at some length previously on one of these videos. Okay, so each has a cave. Now, in the case of I thought, well, okay, Dimitri, you should probably do, like, I don't know, open up some Bodhidharma and think about it for a day first. But then I thought, okay, well, no, the real thing of solid psychoanalytic import, absolutely transparent psychoanalytic analysis, let's try to do something brutally honest, brutally transparent, so we can see exactly what a post-Fregean set theoretic psychoanalytic, how that works. So, okay, there is a dialectic that's set up between, now it's an antinomy between, on the one hand, you've got the cave of Bodhidharma, and on the other hand, you got the cave of Plato. Now, in the first case, the Bodhidharma cave, it is a living cave. In the second case, it is a hypothetical cave. In the first case, and if we put that in the aesthetic or the positive or assertive position of the antinomy, we see that Bodhidharma himself sits in front of a wall and is so ruthlessly single-minded he removes his eyelids, he cuts off his eyelids, and stares at the wall for 8 or 9 years. And the recent, my friend who gave me this prompt mentioned the idea of the atrophying of the arms and legs atrophying, and that the so-called Dharma doll, which is it's when Zen came to Japan. It was Chan in China. It was Chan, and I guess then if Bodhidharma brings it to Japan, which I need to know much more about this history. I mean, these are the kinds of things that I need to just stand in lectures, sit in lectures and learn about, because these histories of these thinkers, for our purposes in the West, are absolutely essential. Dear Professor Priest, you're the one that knows all these things. Well, hey, I'm your faithful something. So it's the standpoint of Gustav Laubin. Gustav Laubin stands in the first person case. Gustav Laubin stands in front of the wall, sits in front of the wall, removes his eyelids, and proceeds to be unrelentingly undivided and monolithic. Himself, he decides to live that way. Bodhidharma himself, Puti Dhammo, the one and only. Now, by contrast, Plato himself imagines a cave scenario. So what's Plato afraid of? That he himself is really in a cave? Why does it have to be hypothetical? It's an analogy. It's only an analogy. It's only a thought experiment, right? It's only a metaphor. Oh yeah, it's only a metaphor, then it's just... In Plato's cave allegory, there is no character such that they themselves were the person in the cave. That's the antinomy between Putidamo and Platon. It is also the dialectic between Dr. Gustav Lauben and Leo Pater. So, Professor John Perry, you are in the driver's seat. You are the one. You are the one for this job. I don't know how much you know about Bodhidharma. I don't know how much there is to Bodhidharma. I mean, if you're looking for some enlightenment beyond this mind, well, okay. Beyond this mind. This mind? Beyond this mind. This mind? I don't know if Bodhidharma gets us any more or less than that. It gets you everything. Professor John Perry, it's your turn. Let's hear what you got. If not, Slavoj Žižek and Alenka Tupančić are going to eat your lunch. Act quick. And is it true now? Is it true Chomsky's on the fucking Epstein list? Dear God.